All right, so listen, you know how this goes. Question everything. You should. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's get to it. I get it. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? You gotta provide for your family. But if you ain't gotta be out there, bro, why be out? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, bro. I used to tell them that in trucking. No, not safe to drive. You can't penalize me for a late load. No, it's unsafe. Unsafe conditions. And that's all you had to say. But this is and waiting to happen.
So now people that receive EBT and food stamps are not going to be allowed to buy junk food with EBT or food stamps. I seen something that stated that the Trump administration was stopping people who receive EBT or food stamps to stop buying any junk food or high processed food items with their EBT and food stamps. And if they are going to put this rule in place, they just need to decrease the price of healthy foods, okay? Because healthy foods are so high. That's why people shop and buy things that they can afford, aka junk food and high processed foods, because they are trying to make their food stamps benefits stretch the whole month. So towards the end of the month, the kids might be eating oodles and noodles or TV dinners or whatever else or sandwiches with chips, because guess what? Or hot dogs and burgers, because guess what? It is just high. Stuff is high. So you're trying to stretch your food stamps towards the end of the month to make them last. Because anybody who have received food stamps before, which is me, I've received them before, know that those food stamps benefits does not last the whole month. And we all know that that bag of vegetables is $10.
I don't know. I've been seeing people talking about they getting $3,500. That'll last me the whole month, and it'll bleed into summer next month too.
Or the price of eggs at this point. Okay, it's like $12 for a carton of eggs. Listen, decrease the price of healthy foods so that people can actually afford to buy them. So now people that receive EBT and
now this part I've been having this discussion with people before. You know what I mean? Trying to buy healthy, eat healthy is expensive. But then somebody will say to me, no, you're just not shopping the right way. Then teach me, show me. Because obviously I'm not doing it the right way, because I don't even think I come out with a full basket, one of those baskets you tote in your hand when you go get some healthy stuff. I don't come back with a full basket, or buggy for that matter. So to me, it seems like it's expensive to eat healthy. It is.
Two for 30?
No, 32.
32 for two?
Yeah.
And this one's 9?
No, 750.
750?
Yeah.
It's a good price.
Yes.
All right, I'll take one. I take 2. 15. 2 for 15, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. They're real eggs?
Huh?
They're real eggs?
Yes.
There's stuff inside?
No, that's the farm. That's the Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good price.
Yeah, good price. You want a good egg.
Amazing. What are these chiquito eggs?
That's different.
Kangaroo?
No.
Pigeons? Pigeons?
No the chicken, no the bird.
Bird, okay. Different. 2 for 30?
First of all, y'all saw that person got pulled. I don't know what we just witnessed right there, but I was wondering about that. Did y'all catch that? Second of all, Yeah, I'm curious too. What type of eggs are? See, this is the risk you run. I don't know if you just sold me dinosaur eggs. I don't know if you just what type raptor eggs are these? Like, I don't know what these eggs are, but I feel people really getting their egg hustle on right now. Like it's real out here.
Studies have shown how important diet is to good health. And now more and more patients are seeking a fresh approach to treatment. KCTV5's Carolyn Long spoke with a local man who claims that food worked for him over chemo to fight his cancer.
One of the contestants on June's American Ninja Warrior competition hails from right here in Lee's Summit. Running against time and impossible obstacles, 43-year-old Eric Hewing works out in the most unusual way. Who comes up with this stuff?
Right? I'm 43 going on 22.
Especially amazing when you learn Eric faced a dire diagnosis 5 years ago while working as a pilot for SkyWest Airlines. A mole he had removed from his stomach came back as cancerous.
So I went from never going to any doctors, hospitals, clean bill health to having stage 3B melanoma.
When more tumors were found, the doctor suggested chemo.
With that chemotherapy, I had about a 40% chance to live 5 years.
So Eric read and read, questioned everything, and found a study from the National Institute of Health on his prescribed form of chemo.
It didn't increase your chances of surviving by 1%.
So Eric kept digging and finally decided to forego the conventional treatment method and try a more holistic approach, using food as medicine.
I went guns a-blazing into Gerson therapy.
Gerson therapy is unproven and extremely controversial within the medical field. The treatment shifts the focus from destroying cancer cells to nurturing the healthy cells. Eric even flew out to San Diego to take a class on it.
It's eating whole plant-based foods and juicing 13 times a day for 2 years.
It's a full-time, demanding commitment developed by Dr. Max Gerson in the 30s. It floods the body daily with nutrients through 15 to 20 pounds of organically grown fruits and vegetables. In addition to 3 plant-based meals per day, you can see Eric here in his kitchen filling his prescription for 13 glasses of fresh juice each day.
So every hour on the hour, from the time that you wake up to the time you go to sleep, you're making a juice. And you do that for 2 years.
So that means quite an investment in an industrial strength juicer. And it also means no more dairy, meat, sugar, alcohol, or processed foods.
It's a very, very stringent, strict diet, and many people couldn't, unless they had this discipline, they couldn't stick with it. But it works very, very well for most people.
Dr. David Clark is the naturopath Eric has worked with locally for his supplements. He's watched as Eric's tumors have disappeared one by one.
His progress is just very, very excellent.
Tumor number 13 is the only one left, shrinking in my left lung.
It is bad food that got us into this problem.
The Gerson therapy is also the focus now of a new documentary called A Food Cure, just released in California 3 weeks ago. It follows 6 cancer patients of varying ages through their fight.
It is good food that can get us out of it.
Eric is just thrilled that the message is getting out that there may be another option.
I feel the best shape of my life.
He even thanks cancer for his zest for living, calling cancer a gift.
Wait, what did you just say?
I know people have trouble with this, but I've learned so much about myself, so much about just understanding other people and just appreciating every day, that cancer for me has been a gift. I've learned so much that I couldn't have learned any other way.
And I have great news to pass along. Eric just had another scan and learned that 13th and final tumor is now officially gone. He is now tumor-free.
Studies have shown.
Listen, man, as a person who watched cancer destroy his mom, this was something that was always at the forefront of my mind, and I kept trying to get her to do different things, but it's hard to get somebody, you know, when they're going through chemo to try something new, when you have doctors who are, you know what I mean, licensed to practice medicine, do all this type of stuff to you, and they're telling you one thing, and I'm saying to her, like, Mom, like, let's try some juices. And she tried a few things and did a few things and cut back on a lot of things, but it wasn't like I wanted her to, you know? But this was always something I thought about. I thought about this, bro. Like, this is very, very interesting to me. Of course, get your first, second, third, fourth, fifth opinion, and make sure you comfortable with whatever you decide to do. But I watched that chemo, man, just eat my mom, you know what I mean? Eat her up. It got to the point where her bones was so brittle. One time she sneezed and broke her collarbone. Bro, it just used to just tear me up to see her go through that, come home. She fought it for over 20 years. So I always say it didn't beat her. She beat it. For fighting that for 20 years, over 20 years, she beat it. Like, it didn't take her. Like, she fought. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, bro, to see that's remarkable, outstanding to see. And it just lends credence to what I was thinking all along. But, you know what I mean? Make sure you do your own research and all that type of stuff.
Paul McCartney died in 1966 and they replaced him. The conspiracy goes that Paul had passed away in a car wreck in November 9th while leaving Abbey Road, you know, the place where their studio used to be. Now, they were so famous and were just on the rise to success that they were making too much and they didn't want things to stop. So supposedly they covered it up and held a lookalike audition for Paul McCartney. The winner took his spot. Now, these are the details I find pretty convincing. The original Paul had a different facial structure from the new one. The original one had a shorter chin, darker eyes, and a smaller nose. The newer fake Paul lookalike has a longer chin, elongated face, and colored eyes. Also, Paul and Ringo used to be around the same height, but that all changed right after 1966. Suspicious. One fan noticed that they were leaving hidden secret messages in their music, like in their song called I'm the Walrus. Walrus means corpse. A couple years later, after that song, they released another song. And in that song, I kid you not, it says, well, here's another clue for all of you. The walrus was Paul. Tastes like your mama's booty. Things even get more suspicious. In the Sgt. Pepper's album cover, if you hold up a mirror in the center of the drum, there is a number 1 with the word 1 next to it. Then the Roman numeral for 9. And then the words, he died, altogether spelling 11-9, he died, hinting at his passing on November 9th. Should I do a part 2?
Hey, wait, this reminds me of, when you talk about that island, that private island, you know, Sentinel Island?
North Sentinel Island. Yeah.
Planes still fly over that, or no? Are they not allowed to fly over that as a restricted airspace?
I don't think it's restricted, no. But you can't land there, and you can't circle.
Right.
You can't.
I thought it was restricted. Like, the government had said for you not to fly over that island. They ain't even want a chance you going down and landing on that island or any type of way that you can disturb them, because their response isn't going to be nothing short of aggressive towards you, and you may be unalive. So I thought it was restricted airspace.
Visit.
India owns it, right? Doesn't India control it?
I believe so.
Yeah, and it's like 10-mile radius.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a thing online that said a boat crashed there, and you could still see on Google Images the remnants of the boat.
Yeah, they came for the people in the boat too, and the helicopters got them off the boat right as the people were like pulling up in
so they lived.
Rafts and shit. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, they lived, but the villagers were coming for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine stumbling across a village?
They've been with sometime in the past. You know, that Commander Maurice Vidal Portman, that guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Respectable Law on Twitter. He has a giant thread about it. It may be pinned on the top of his Twitter page, but explaining like one of the reasons why those people are so hostile.
Right.
And it has to do with this British explorer who was really kinky.
Was this just a freak coincidence, or was something else at hand? Moving on, we got the Beauvais Island boat. This is a case in 1964 when an abandoned boat was found on the Beauvais Island, which is basically the most isolated island on the earth. There were no markings to indicate what nation it had come from, but there were 2 oars, a drum, and a copper tank that were found. The big question people had was, how did this boat get here, and what happened to the people that were in it? Some people think it was nuclear testing gone awry. Other people think it could have even been aliens or extraterrestrials. Personally, I just think it was a capsized boat that was found thousands and thousands of miles away. What do you guys think?
Okay, the weirdest package just came in the mail for me. Don't mind the mess in the background. I'm sitting in the garage, but I get this package and it's addressed to me, to my name. And I didn't order anything, so I open it. The first thing is this little mask. And this is the second thing. It's like I don't even know. It has little arms. It's from like Uni. I guess that's like the brand. It says warehouse. Who is this from? Is this a scam? There's a little barcode on it. Hold on. There's like a little barcode on it, but I don't want to scan it in case it's a scam. Has this happened to anyone? Okay,
Listen, the way things are going these days, the amount of scams that are going on, I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't even have opened it, to be honest with you. I don't open random packages or mysterious packages ever since back in the day, you know, that powdery stuff that everybody, they were sending to people and stuff. Yeah. Ever since that, no. If I didn't order it and I know what it is, I ain't opening it. Send it back. Send it back. I don't need it that bad. Like, you could have scanned that and that thing could have took over everything in your phone. And had access to your bank account, all your money, all that type of stuff. And then we have so many different passwords in our phone. We have so much information in our phone. We store so many things. Yeah, your whole life is probably in your phone. You don't want nobody getting a hold of that.
Who's ready for a quick game of Is It a Scam? On today's episode, we have this email that I received to my brokerage email account. This is not an account that I typically use to communicate with people. So really, only people who are at the brokerage have this email address. But you can get it on my brokerage's website. So it says, hello, I'm interested in learning about your real estate services and have some questions I'd like to ask. Additionally, I'd greatly appreciate if you could provide me with an overview of the current real estate market. Thank you. So now pause this video and go to the comments and let me know if you think that this email is a scam. Now you're probably thinking, not a scam. But let me ask you this. Why, instead of asking their questions, did they just say, I have some questions to ask? Or why didn't they say that they want to set up a call? Okay, but maybe not enough to constitute a scam. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to say that the person's name was John Smith, but their email address was Susie Rose. So now what do you think? Scam or no scam? And if you vote scam, what do you think the scam is? Because I have no idea. Who's ready for a quick game of Is It a Scam? On today.
Again, I assume everything is a scam these days. Everything has the potential to be a scam. And I think if you look at things that way, you'll be a lot better off. That'll be that many more times that you probably dodge getting caught up in some type of scam if you approach things as if that's probably a scam. It's the way you gotta be.
Rescuers say tourists are getting too close to lava on Mount Etna after thousands have flocked to see the active volcano. Officials warn many are wearing inappropriate clothing, approaching the eruption, and even blocking rescue services from reaching those needing help. Rescuers say tourists are...
What is wrong with y'all? Why would y'all be gathered around an oozing volcano? Y'all, that's a different level of risk or living on the edge that I'm just, I'm not there. I'm not that crazy. I got a little crazy in me, but not that crazy. That's a different kind of crazy that I don't want no parts of, bro. That's too close. No.
Skiing past this lava flow is banned, but it's hard to police. Mount Etna in Sicily has just started erupting. Europe's most active volcano, it draws crowds of people who trek up to witness the lava that's escaping from a fracture at 3,000 meters. Tourists are supposed to stay 500 meters away from the lava flow and only if accompanied by guides, but those rules are being ignored. Authorities are clamping down, urging visitors to use basic safety gear, share their planned movements, and hire mountain guides.
Very dangerous, since the lava flow is easily reachable because it's already crossed the high mountain track. Many people come out dressed inappropriately, as if they were in Catania Center, let's say. In fact, these last rescues that we did, we noticed that people were coming with tennis shoes in unsuitable clothing.
Earlier this month, flights at a nearby airport were diverted due to the clouds of ash, and lava continues to flow without any immediate threat to inhabited areas.
And we were trying to determine who owned a cliff tomb, which Howard Carter found in 1916 in this wadi. And we were looking below it, and as we excavated below it, we found the tomb. You know, these are the moments of a lifetime. You know, as Howard Carter described it, these are the days of days. And it's enormously exciting. And we were trying to determine who.
Yeah, that's what we needed. Added to 2025. Somebody opening up a tomb and releasing some type of curse. Or maybe that's what started all of this. I don't know. Like, oh, bro, just come on, man. Give us a break.
But first, millions of Americans are facing a widespread Arctic blast. Temperatures could dip 50 degrees below normal in some areas, with parts of Texas in single digits. Now at least 10 states are under snow and ice alerts from Tennessee to Delaware.
Nashville just came in with their official 2 inches at their airport, but they had rough roads overnight. Memphis, the same thing. Interstate 40 is kind of how this storm followed along, and it's still blasting east. You can see the radar there. The North Carolina into Virginia is where the front edge of the snow is. There's some really heavy rain making its way through the Panhandle. There were flash flood warnings much earlier in New Orleans. But those winter storm warnings will erode from west to east. It's really about the Delmarva Peninsula right through Hampton Bay, Newport News, Norfolk, and then the northeastern part, like Elizabeth City, there in North Carolina. That's where the heaviest snow will fall. But this snow is going to move on. We futurecasted it there, so you can see by tonight it's out of here. There's just a few little bursts of snow. We'll get a little snowflake tomorrow, but nothing that's going to change your life. Then wanted to focus on that cold, because we've got cold weather alerts all the way down to Austin, and some of those numbers were breaking records this morning, like Oklahoma City, 2 is what they fell to. Wichita, 1. Tomorrow makes it look like nothing. Look at all those circles. That means that they will likely break or tie a record low temperature. So down to Baton Rouge, Jackson, Shreveport, Little Rock, a lot of folks are involved there. And tomorrow, and then things start to moderate pretty significantly by the end of the weekend and the start of next week.
But first, millions of Americans are...
What you're about to hear is the voices of the pilot and air traffic controllers, and it's set to computer animation. Take a look.
Troy 2-1, go ahead.
It's not weird, but I just had something pass underneath my wing, maybe like a football-sized object right underneath our wing.
Troy 2-1, Roger. Do you think it was a drone or?
I have no idea. I got my sensor operator looking for it on the camera right now. We'll see if we can find it. But it's like a dark gray cylindrical object, and it was probably the size of a football, and it passed maybe 10 feet under our right wing.
Troy 2-1, Roger. Thank you for the report. Keep me advised if you find anything else out.
Yeah, we'll do. We're looking for it now. And so, correction. LA Center, Troy 2-1. We got something on air-to-air radar. We're trying to get visual on it.
Troy 2-1, Roger.
And LA Center 094, bearing from us for about 60 miles is where it is now.
Troy 2-1, say again.
094 bearing from us, about 60 miles away is where we're picking it up now.
LA 15, okay.
Troy 2-1, Roger, thank you.
All right, this guy was stopped at 14 for him because we were busy. There was some UFO reported here, but that's all taken care of now, so you don't have to worry about it unless you want to talk to Aaron. It was earlier, but it's gone.
I may not have to worry about it, but I am plenty worried about
10 feet, approximately 10 feet under the right wing or whatever wing it was. That's way too close. This is a problem. All right. We already got enough stuff going on in our airspace. We don't need more problems like this. Say something. Tell us the truth.
about it. This is where I call in Ben Hansen to help me make heads or tails of this. Ben is a former FBI special agent and host of UFO Witness on Discovery Plus. He managed to secure that recording that you just heard because it was not made available to the public. Ben, what is your take?
This is a really interesting case. It was actually the air traffic controller who reported it to the National UFO Reporting Center, or NUFORC. So NUFORC is actually cited in the FAA regs as one of the places where pilots can go to make reports. So first, we want to thank the controller for reporting it, and also for the pilots. This was a Homeland Security flight, actually. So they were on, I don't want to say covert, but they were on a mission, probably doing drug interdiction or something like that. And they're flying along and they see this thing. So very experienced pilots. Now, this particular aircraft, too, is a Beechcraft 350C, which they've converted to include a very sensitive and complex radar array. So you see that dome on the top of it. It's actually there to track, drug traffickers and things like that. So when they call this thing in, this is about 2:30 in the afternoon. It's September 17th of last year. It's broad daylight. They got a good look at this thing, cylindrical dark object that passes underneath their wings so close. So, I mean, obviously you can see there's big problems with that happening in controlled airspace like they were, and they weren't notified of any air traffic that was supposed to be in the area.
So the animation, by the way, it's so realistic, I was caught off guard. Was that sort of made with the help of those who witnessed it so that it's as accurate as it can be?
Well, in this case, my team has not spoken with the crew, as you can imagine, because the sensitivity of probably what they were doing on this mission, it wouldn't benefit them to come forward and talk to the public quite yet. We'd encourage it, yes, but this was our rendering of just based on the audio that we had. It's a guess, right? That object could have gone underneath from left to right, forward to back. We don't know, but we do know their description is pretty exact.
I'm also sort of gobsmacked by 20,000 feet because I don't think that ground-controlled, unmanned flights can operate at that altitude. Call me crazy. I think at one point they asked if it was a drone. What's the word on the possibility of some kind of a...
Well, I would suspect any drone at that height has to be military. I don't think nobody has a personal drone going at those heights, so it have to be military. So either way, somebody got some explaining to do, but I don't think it's a drone.
Drone activity.
So it could be. It'd be very rare, but hobby drones can go up that high. Obviously, military can as well. This occurred near what we call military operations area, but it was not in that airspace. So anyone who was flying something to test a commercial type of drone or something would have had to call in. Now, the other thing that's very interesting about this is you hear them call out what they believe they're tracking this object about 60 miles away because they've got their own airborne radar. And the pilot calls back to air traffic control, says, we think we have it. Now, debatable whether their radar array could see something this small at 60 miles. But if true, within the 2 minutes when they called back, that would place this object going about Mach 2. Okay, from them to gain that much distance in that amount of time. So that would absolutely, in my opinion, eliminate any prosaic explanation of a drone or anything of that nature.